Okay, this is an absolutely ridiculous moose hunting story. As in, it's going to be one of the biggest mysteries of my entire hunting career, and I'll never know the answer ever, and it's frustrating for that. But this is a few years ago, and I was up north not guiding. I haven't guided for a few years for big game. I might again, I might not, I don't know. It's more fun just helping people now through my hunting apps. And my good friend, my guide partner, we went up on foot up on top of this big hill, this long hill. It's got a big top on it, sporadic spruce, willow up to here, and an old horse trail I used to guide on years ago, going right along the top of it. And I wanted to stick an arrow in a great big bull, moose. So I had my bow, my buddy had his rifle, and we're just doing a hike. Like, we hike way up this damn face of this thing forever to get on top. And once we get on top, you got to hike about halfway back before it gets, you know, when we typically start running into moose up there. And I hadn't dragged my rangefinder out yet and put it around my neck. It was in my backpack. It's the old same old, I'll pull it out once we get up there, you know? And we're cow calling as we walk the whole way. And we get on the top, and they're going along, cow calling. And I was just starting to think I better get my rangefinder out. And we come around the corner, and all of a sudden this cow goes trotting across right in front of me in this gap. Cow across, and this great big huge record buck moose right behind her. I'm like, holy crap. And I draw my bow back, no rangefinder, frickin' shot right over him. Like, what? God, are you kidding me? What? You know, and as far as excitement goes, I don't know how many moose I've guided. I haven't a clue. And you name the size. I've guided moose in the Yukon, BC, all through BC. And as far as buck fever and moose goes with me, doesn't happen. I don't get buck fever. I've never wounded and lost a moose in my life. I had one hunter lost a huge moose once 10 years ago, but that's about it, you know. And as far as my own history goes with hunting, you name it, I've harvested with a bow and arrow. And I'm good at what I do, you know, and I'm saying this for what I'm about to share with you. I shot over his back, and then it's kind of, and my partner's cow calling, that kind of stops, look back in, and I shot again. I think it hit some, wasn't sure if it hit some willow or not. I'm thinking, there's no way I missed that thing. There's no freaking way, that's a dead moose. And he took off. And there's just like little patches of snow, because it just started snowing and then it melted again. So there's only like patches and patches of snow here, patch of snow there. And we go over there, no arrow, no moose, no blood. And we see tracks, and we looked, no arrow, no moose, no blood. And it's frustrating a little crap out of me. I'm like, what the hell, you know? The long ridge back went like this for a long ways, like 2 miles. And it was fairly steep on either side, and the flat top was maybe 400 across. Yeah, about 400 across the top probably. We went ahead again, hunted, dropped down to the left, all over the place, nothing. And then we dropped down to the right and started heading back out. Boom. Great big huge fresh bull and cow tracks right in our feet. Oh, right on, it's him. He's on the same slope as us. Perfect. So we're managing to track these guys. We're trying to stay quiet, and now we're side hilling, coming back on the overtop, down the side hill. We're coming back. And we're walking along. This is going on. We had about half a mile to get back to where we were to get out, and half a mile the same side hill along the side hill. So we're hiking along, and then found, like, you know what, this guy's, they're going the distance. They're going ahead of us. They're walking ahead of us. Let's get back up on top and run down the horse trail, and then drop back down and head them off and call. They'll probably come right to us. So we left, we stopped tracking them down the side hill, got on the top, ran down, guessed we got past them, dropped back down into the timber again. It was a little windy and snotty out. And then we started calling. Boom. Here they come, and he is fired up. You can hear it in the video. Like, these things were free. This guy was fired the hell up, right? So Mark's up behind me. He's got this camera on a tripod up behind me. I dropped down the hill about 10 yards from him, and I'm just sitting there waiting. And he's right there. They're running. You could hear the cow calling behind him too. The cow's yelling. He's grunting like an idiot. They're running at us. So I get down on my knees, and now I can see him. Mark can see him crystal clear from up where he was, but I can see him through the trees, and he's got to worm his way through a couple Christmas trees. I'm staying dead quiet. Mark's 10 yards behind me to keep his attention, calling back up to him, cow calling. And here he comes. He's like coming right through the thick stuff. As soon as his head went in the thick stuff, I drew back, and I'm aiming downhill a little bit, and he comes right up. He was probably 8 yards from me. I'm calm as Cool Hand Luke. I'm not freaked out. I've done this I don't know how many times. Like, right on, we're gonna get him. And I drew back, put the pin on his chest, and lots of people freak out and say, you never shoot head on, we wait till it goes broadside. Oh, shut up. You know what? If you can make the shot, you're confident making the shot, you make the shot. Anyway, drew back, I put it square on his chest, right in the V. He obviously stopped dead. I mean, he can see me clear as day looking at him. And no, you can't, with this, you can see it. You can't wait for an animal to turn broadside with your bow at 8 yards like that, because when he spins, it's going to be fast. You're not going to get it. He's standing stationary. I'm sitting stationary. The second I shot, he went, oh. We thought the arrow disappeared in his chest. He spins, takes off. We sit there quiet. Mark keeps calling. You can see the video. And we can see him through those trees just standing there. His head's kind of down. And we're looking at him. We're waiting for him to tip over. And all of a sudden he goes walking off and he starts calling again. I'm like, what? Like kind of garbled grunts, but he grunts. We're like, huh? Die. What are you doing? Die. And he starts going up the hill. Grunts. And he's going uphill. No terminally injured game animal goes uphill. Trust me, none of them. We're like, what the hell? So we snuck over to where he's last standing, and sure enough, you can see the blood here. There's that much blood in the ground that was coming out of his mouth. And we're like, and it's getting, late in the day. Like, okay, screw it. Let's just let him go. He'll be dead in the morning. So we left. Get back there in the morning, found the blood, tracked him uphill by drops. I mean, we're talking dime-sized drops every 5 yards. It was the most nastiest frickin' tracking job I've probably ever done. And we're doing it right. We're not running ahead. One guy stays the blood, we mark it. The next guy, hands and knees. Blood, mark it with an arrow. Blood, mark with an arrow. We went up the mountain. Then all of a sudden he abruptly turned and he started going downhill on an angle on a 45, along that long hogback, heading back away from where our main entrance again. And the whole way we're expecting this thing to be laying down dead any second. Oh yeah, he's hurt now. He's hurt now for sure. He's got to be down now. And we tracked him for another 3 hours. Never laid down once. And maybe a dime-sized drop of blood every 10 yards. I mean, it was tough slugging. But we were doing it. We were on him. And then I think 4 hours into it, the second day, maybe even 5, we get to the bottom into this swampy pond in Muskeg, and here's this puddle of water. Get this one. There's this puddle of water with saliva. Here's the picture here, with saliva and blood bubbles on top, just a few little patches of snotty, weird bubbled snot. And my arrow is floating on the water with the broadhead unscrewed and missing from the tip. What? No moose. Couldn't even tell which way he went from there on. We looked for another couple hours, could not find him. Could not frickin' believe it. Went back to the house, got on the computer. I had to bring my big computer with me to go up north for editing up stuff. And we zoomed in and went on slow motion, and that arrow, so I'm looking downhill, so my kill zone, I gotta get him in the chest. You know, I'm looking at a patch like this, probably that deep, whatever it was. I shot, I screwed up, I screwed up. You know what? If I screwed up, I'll admit it, I screwed up. It happened. Whoops. Not like it happens all the time, that's for sure. I mean, if you hunt long enough, you're eventually you're gonna make an accident. And that's all there is to it. And I'm owning it. I screwed up. I've made shots like that a million times. I was calm as calm could be. A shot, his jaw dropped, mouth open. That arrow went straight down his mouth and disappeared. We put it on ultra slow motion in the clips. I'll try to show it here. You can see his mouth went, the arrow disappeared. You can see the fletch in his mouth. And when that arrow goes in his mouth, his whole body went, like all four legs buckle out to the side. He spins around. The arrow isn't sticking out the back of his neck. You know, the angle, he's looking up at me, so we figured that arrow went straight down his throat perfectly. You're not gonna believe this. Spins around, takes off. And that arrow is not sticking out the back of his neck, wasn't sticking out the side of his neck. That arrow disappeared square 90 degrees, head on, straight down the pipe, down his throat, and disappeared with his mouth closing behind the fletching. Unbelievable. Now, he gets to the pond. What did he do at the pond? He goes like this. Poof, spits my arrow out. Really? Without the broadhead? And he's still alive? Like, how the hell does that even happen? So, went back home again. We were pretty beat up. I think I took the kid moose hunting somewhere else the next day. It's eating me alive. I'm like, okay, I'm going back up there because it's not easy to get up there. Brought my nephew with me. We go up, did the exact same route. Got on the top. This time I got my 300 short mag, going along the top. Tell him this is where I shot it, right here. We walked right through the pass where I shot it with my bow. Got another 50 yards up, I'm cow calling. All of a sudden, behind us, I hear this. I turn around. Here's this frickin' bull. Boom! Dumped him. We go over there. He's got a perfect cut on his shoulder that had fallen open that wide. It was that long. It's like 3 days old, right on his shoulder. I saw that. And we're like I'm just doing like frickin' cartwheels. Yes! Got him! Yes! Thank God, recovery, we got him back. Oh my God, thank God, got him! Yes! Chopped them all up, hiked back out, went and got the horses the next day. Oh, went back out, looked at the bull on the video that I shot down the throat. 2 different frickin' moose. 2 different record book bulls. What? Like, you got to be frickin' kidding me. Now, here's where it gets even crazier. So, my friend's uncle, who lives up there, up north, has a plane. He decides he's gonna go flying that day that we're taking the horses in to go get the moose, and he flew over top of us. And he flew all the way down the top of that hogback that we're on, spins around, came back, flew out, we packed the moose out, and then he comes over and he goes, hey, let me see that video of that moose he shot in the mouth. I showed it to him, he goes, that guy is on the far end of the mountain with 4 cows. He's down there looking up at the plane. I'm like, no way. Serious? He goes, that's the bull, that's him. Yeah, he's at the other end of 3 cows. So I had to go back home. This is way up the Alaska Highway. I had to go back home in a couple days the next day, so I told my buddy, I said, go get that moose, man, like, go get him. And they did go back there, but they never found him. And then I had left 2 trail cameras up there, and I was gonna leave them there all year and come back and get them the next year, right? And guess what? If I didn't capture the bull that I shot down the throat on 2 different trail camera clips, over a month later, and you can see him right here, and he is absolutely fine. Explain that one. How the hell did that happen? Seriously. Seriously? So that sucker ate an arrow in a broadhead straight down the pipe, full length. You can see in the video, closes his mouth as soon as the flesh disappears down there, takes off, spits my arrow out, keeps on going, goes up, chases cows around. A month later, he's still healthy as anything, running around. He's fine. He lived. Explain that one. That's going to be one of my biggest hunt mysteries ever for the rest of my life. Unbelievable. Hunt stories.